Welcome everyone, Dr. Mandell here. I'd like to share a very important topic. It's about wearing masks. There's a lot going on in this pandemic right now. And there's a lot of controversy going on from the CDC as well as other organizations. So I think it's best to come together as one, and that's our mission, that we all come together to try to resolve this situation the best we can so we can live our life happy with our family and friends. When this pandemic started, we've been told by different organizations that we should only be wearing a mask if we're sick. But now things have changed. Now they're telling everyone to wear a mask. I feel that it's always better to be safe than to be sorry. So let me talk about a couple different masks that you should understand. Why? Because some of these masks can cause side effects. And these side effects, most of us would never think about. But there are many people out there who are experiencing headaches, shortness of breath, dizziness, and other symptoms related to lack of oxygen to the brain as well as in our bloodstream. And lack of oxygen will cause our cells to respond in this particular fashion. The N95 masks are very tight and snugged up against the face. You'll see that many of these medical providers have black and blue marks on their face from wearing them long periods of time. They say it's best to give your body a break, if you can, once every hour for a little while to allow more oxygen to get into your lungs and your bloodstream. If you're wearing these masks, these medical masks, which most people or a lot of people have, you should take it off every 2 hours and give your body a break to get more oxygen. And if you're wearing these fabric or cotton masks, you should take it off every 4 hours. And that's very important because you're not getting the full amount of oxygen into your lungs. And depending upon your task or job that you're doing every day, you could be in danger because with lacking oxygen to the brain, you potentially can cause problems over a long period of time. So my best advice is that whenever you can get a chance, regardless a break in work, maybe after work, try to get some fresh air. Breathing in that fresh air will obviously help your lungs and oxygenate your blood to get you feeling refreshed once again. I want to share some important topics pertaining to our masks. I'm going to use this cloth mask. I notice people are making more masks, being more creative with cloth, different kinds of cloth. They say cotton is the best. It's more breathable. And I think it's important that we should kind of put ourselves through some different scenarios to know if we're doing things correctly wearing these masks. Because we're wearing a mask, if we're not doing the right things, it really defeats the purpose of the mask. Basically, the CDC told people that if you are contagious, put a mask on. Now, why is that? Because if we're going to cough or sneeze, or they're even saying talking today, and we're releasing droplets into the air or droplets onto some other area, it may be a piece of furniture, we can spread those germs and other people can pick it up and they can become infected. But the first thing that I want to mention regarding a mask is masks are not useful at all unless your hands are clean first, and particularly you touch the outside of the mask. If your hands are dirty, yes, you can still touch the outside and you'll be fine, but it's a good habit to wash your hands either with sanitizer or soap and water. And you're going to grab the outside of the mask and you're going to put it on from fastening it around your ears or behind your head, whichever type of mask you have. And also, when you take the mask off, to take it off, if you touch the mask at all and your hands are not clean, that's a big problem. So they're telling us to wash our hands with a hand sanitizer or soap and water. And when we take it off, do not touch the mask. Touch it on the outside of these little flexible cords and you'll pull it off that way. A couple things pertaining to these fabric masks. If you are using a fabric mask and you have to look at this fabric mask as this is a dirty piece of underwear. Now it sounds tacky, excuse my language for talking that way, but you have to look at this mask as something contaminated, because you don't know that if you're walking around and people are coughing or sneezing, or you are actually coughing or sneezing, and potentially you have a germ, you can infect it too if you touch the mask and take it off and put your finger and pull it off. Now you just either touch something else or shake someone's hand or put your hand down somewhere and you just spread the germs. It doesn't matter if it's the coronavirus, it could be any virus, it could be any germ. The bottom line is you need to understand that you must use these masks correctly. So you need to preferably hand sanitize your hand if you're not around water and soap, and take it off the same way you put it on. Now if you're going to sneeze, the purpose of wearing these masks is to prevent the spread of germs, period. So the reason why we're hearing that everyone should be wearing masks, because we're really in the safety zone of other people's health. Remember, we're here working together. So I think it's only fair that by wearing a mask, you're helping to not spread the virus or the germ. So when you sneeze, yes, sneeze into the mask. If it was me, I like to stay in the same habit of sneezing into the mask, but kind of into my armpit or into my elbow, because we don't really know how much of those germs can get through that mask with the force of sneezing, because there is a large volume of force of air that comes out from the lungs as we sneeze, and we really don't know what's being pushed out of that mask. So it's always good to sneeze away from the outside. If you can't get it into your armpit, then sneeze down into the floor. But it's better to sneeze away from where people are. From the many hundreds of questions that I have heard regarding masks, there's so much still up in the air where these questions are not being answered. Take, for example, that you're wearing your mask and you're hungry. Well, what do? Well, you have to obviously pull the mask down or take it off. But when you pull it down, are you touching the mask? Are you recontaminating it with your fingers? That's why it's important to wash your hands. When you put it down on the counter, or you put it down, are you putting it down where there's germs? It's so important to understand. The bottom line is that, yes, you're going to take it off, you're going to put it on, but the same procedure occurs. Take it off from the side, never touch the mask, inside or outside. Okay, even when you put the mask on, and on many masks, medical masks, there'll be a little metal here. You squeeze it together because it pinches on the nose, so it keeps it tight. Well, if you're pinching on your nose while you're wearing your mask and you don't clean your hands, you've just contaminated your mask. And that's a big problem, because when you contaminate your hands and you touch something, now you contaminated something else. And this is how the virus spreads. It's just not all airborne. All of us worldwide needs to come together. This is our health. We hear what's going on every day out there. Please share this video with your friends and family. I really believe we can make a difference. Leave your comments below, and most important, make it a great day. I'm Dr. Alan Mandell.